Children, let us begin with the chapter Journey to the End of the Earth. Now, before moving on to the lesson, I shall be talking about the author, and we shall also be reading about Geoff Green, the man behind the idea of Students on Ice program. Now, who is Geoff Green and what is this program called Students on Ice? How is all this relevant to the chapter? We will know once we begin reading the lesson. So, before moving on to the author, let us talk about the title a little. Children, the title Journey to the End of the Earth talks about the experiences of Tishani Doshi while undertaking this journey to the Antarctica. Hence, it is a travelogue. Now, what is a travelogue? Let me spell that word for you. Travelogue. A travelogue. Children, it's a book about the places visited by someone, or it is an account of the experiences of a traveler. Now, here the title Journey to the End of the Earth describes an educational journey to the Antarctica undertaken by a group of high school students to learn more about the real impact of global warming. Now, Tishani got an opportunity to become a part of this Students on Ice program headed by Geoff Green. Okay. Now, let me talk about Tishani Doshi. So, let us move on to the next slide, which talks about the author Tishani Doshi. Okay, so she is an independent Indian poet, journalist and dancer of Welsh Gujarati origin, born in Chennai, India in 1975 in a Gujarati family. She studied business administration and communications at Queen's College, Charlotte, North Carolina, and gained a master's degree in the writing seminars at Johns Hopkins University, Baltimore. She has contributed to various newspapers such as The Guardian, the International Herald Tribune, the New Indian Express, and the National. She has published 6 books of poetry and fiction. Now, this is an extract from her travelogue. Okay, now let me talk about Geoff Green. Children, the next slide is of Geoff Green. He is a global leader in polar education and youth engagement and founder and president of the award-winning Students on Ice Foundation. I have given you this link. You can visit this, you can watch this video and know a little more about the program Students on Ice. On Monday, I have a live class with 12th B. So, children, I will be showing you this video and then we can together watch it and know a little more about this Students on Ice program. Okay, so let us move on to the next slide now, which talks about the program Students on Ice. Okay, now I will go slow with my explanation over here because this is very, very important. What this program actually is, and you will find its relevance in the chapter also, children. The whole chapter is revolving around this concept of Students on Ice program. Now, like I just told you that why did he choose this group of high school students? So that they could learn more about the real impact of global warming and the future of the earth. Okay, so 52 students went to this coldest, the most driest and windiest continent of the world, the Antarctica, in a Russian research vessel, the academic Sholkalskaya. So, this is the name of that Russian vessel. Now, Students on Ice program, it is a Canadian charitable organization, children, that leads educational expeditions to the Arctic and Antarctic for international high school and university students. Okay, now let me read from the slide a little. Students on Ice was founded in 2000 by Geoff Green, a Canadian explorer and educator. Now, before founding the organization, Green had led numerous expeditions to the Arctic, to the Antarctica, and other destinations around the world. Believing that expeditions to the polar regions had the power to inspire and transform, he decided to create an organization aimed specifically at secondary school students. Children, what do you think could be the reason that the program aimed specifically at the school students? Now, what could be the objective? If I speak in simple terms, children, you are the future of this nation, of this globe, isn't it? You are the future, and there is a huge responsibility on your shoulder. Now, if you want to see a change in the world, you have to take up that responsibility and leave no stone unturned in order to provide the best, isn't it? So the objective of a Students on Ice expedition is to inspire and challenge the youth at a critical time in their lives to think and act positively and proactively as global citizens. Yes, they are the global citizens. You are the change. You can bring the change. So, its aim was to provide the youth educators and scientists from around the world with learning and teaching opportunities. So here, in order to provide learning as well as teaching opportunities in the polar region with the goal of fostering new understanding of and respect for global environment. So he wanted to foster that and sensitize the children about the need to save and protect the environment. He wanted them to realize the impact of global warming, and where could one realize its impact? Of course, in the polar regions of Antarctic and Arctic. So SOI creates attachments between the world and the young citizens who inhabit it by putting them physically in contact with issues relating to the planet's well-being. You know, children, only by reading about global warming and by reading about the natural disasters, it does not leave much impact on us. We have been reading every now and then. But when you are actually exposed to that situation, you get a first-hand knowledge, a first-hand experience of how it is. So, this in turn sensitizes and spreads awareness. Now, when the youth gets sensitized and when he is aware, he will definitely take up the responsibility to bring a change. And this was the aim of starting this program, Students on Ice program by Geoff Green. So here Tishani got an opportunity to become a part of this Students on Ice program, which was headed by Geoff Green. And she soon found herself aboard that same Russian research vessel. And where did she head to? To the continent, to the windiest, to the most driest and the coldest continent in the world, the Antarctica. So the lesson talks about the Students on Ice program. It talks about her experiences and it also talks about the lessons one can learn and how one can become the change and bring about a change in the world. Okay children, I shall stop here this explanation. I have given you a very detailed introduction to the chapter. We shall be moving on to the line by line explanation of the chapter in the next class. Thank you.